Republican candidates clash over how to counter as Republican presidential candidates sparred over national security issues and how best to counter the so-called Islamic State is in the first debate since attacks in California and Paris. A major fault line has formed between those favoring more surveillance and those concerned about civil liberties. Frontrunner Donald Trump has been on the defensive, with Jeb Bush calling him a chaos candidate. Senators Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz also clashed over government surveillance. Mr. Trump's proposed ban on Muslims entering the U.S. put Mr. Trump on the defensive in the early minutes of the debate. "We are not talking about isolation, we're talking about security," Mr. Trump said. "We are not talking about religion, we are talking about security." The conversation quickly broadened to broader issues of foreign policy and national security. Another of Mr. Trump's proposals, closing that internet up to stop is recruitment, has been hotly debated, and earned the business mogul loud boos when he attempted to defend it. Mr. Trump appeared confused by the crowd's response, saying, "These are people that want to kill us folks." It was not the only time that the crowd played a part in the program. On several occasions the audience's cheers and jeers forced a pause in the candidates' conversation. At one point, the heckler interrupted Mr. Trump with inaudible comments. Other highlights from the debate include, despite expectations of a confrontation between the top candidates, Senator Cruz and Mr. Trump, the men avoided directly criticizing each other. Mr. Trump said that he would not pursue a third-party campaign, saying he had gained great respect for the party's leadership. Jeb Bush aggressively took on Mr. Trump's bombastic style, saying you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency when asked whether he could order airstrikes that could kill civilians or children. Ben Carson pointed to his experience as a pediatric surgeon and having to tell children about brain cancer. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has stuck to his strong libertarian foreign policy beliefs. Despite stark differences with the other candidates, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie repeatedly stressed his executive experience as a governor and prosecutor and took a swipe at senators like Mr. Cruz and Mr. Rubio, saying they were all talk. Ohio Governor John Kasich said world leaders would have been better off discussing terrorism than climate change at a recent summit in Paris. Former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina said lessons could be learned from the private sector to improve an incompetent government. Mr. Trump loomed large over the so-called undercard debate, with the four candidates split over the efficacy of his proposed ban. Senator Lindsey Graham apologized to us allied Muslim leaders, saying, "I am sorry. He does not represent us." Democrats debate on Saturday night, and both parties will hold debates in January. The state-by-state primary contests in the presidential